The government's had 8 years to do something about housing affordability. The government's had 8 years to do something about the number of women who are in need of housing. It's an announcement which will help some but not help many. It's capped, I think, initially at 10,000. There's a lot more than that who need it. And it's not going to help the group who are the fastest growing group in homelessness in Australia, and that is women over 55. Any other questions?
I've got something about India. Are you satisfied that the government now has a plan?
The only thing we can be satisfied of is Scott Morrison has a plan for a press conference. He's got a plan for a press conference and another set of announcements, but he doesn't have a plan to get Australians home. If he had a plan to get Australians home, we would not have nearly 10,000 Australians stranded in India. We would not have had Australians stranded overseas, and we would not have 173 kids, unaccompanied minors, who are Australian citizens or permanent residents who are stuck in India. I want to say this. We have been calling since the borders were closed, just after the borders were closed, for safe national quarantine. Because the only way you keep Australians safe, both here and overseas, is to have a quarantine system that's fit for purpose. Scott Morrison has refused to put one in place. And as a consequence of that, people are stranded. We said a year ago that their situation will become more perilous. That is precisely what has occurred in India. So I'd say to the Prime Minister, how about instead of having a plan for a press conference, why don't you have a plan to get Australians home safely?
Given the number of children who are unaccompanied, what should the government be doing to get them?
Well, taking some responsibility and ensuring we have national quarantine that's safe. I think one of the saddest things about the evidence yesterday was that until we asked the question, they didn't know. They didn't know how many children there were.
It appears that an Australian citizen may have died after
The consequence of refusing to step up and do the job the Prime Minister should do, which is ensure that there is safe national quarantine, it's a federal responsibility, was always going to be that Australians would be placed in increasingly risky situations. This was always foreseeable, and it is tragic.